Okay, folks, I want you to pay very close attention to my statements here. This is going to be a very fast video. This video can be considered to be a preliminary, sorry, a preliminary introduction video. This video, once it's published, it will be put in the YouTube description of some upcoming video series that I'm going to be making concerning the reported thought manipulation connected to gangstalking crimes. You are not going to be able to understand this video relation to that video series until you see it. So just trust me on that for now, okay? Completely trust me on that. In other words, when you walk away from watching this video, you're not going to understand how this video could relate to thought manipulation, remote thought manipulation through gangstalking crimes, because you haven't seen that video yet. Once you see it, your jaw is going to drop and you will literally never see. Okay, well, the way you see the world today. That's the only thing that I can say to bring that absolute factual statement to you, right straight to your mind and your heart. You're not going to be able to see it until you see the information video. So just trust me. You'll know what videos are the information video series videos because I'm going to literally label them information videos concerning thought manipulation and gangstalking crimes. Hold on. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to dive right into this video. This video is going to have a lot of information in it, but it's only going to be very rudimentary and preliminary. So trust me, stay with this account. Your mind is going to be blown. Now, I want you to, you're going to be able to know how to bring up this website here in a minute or two. So so just be patient, okay? Now this right here is a PDF file that's on the internet that's related to a specific type of prosthetic islands implants. And you might even, when you run across the information, you might run into some dialogue language that's going to describe that this type of prosthetic implant is still in the research phase. And I am by no means implicating this particular make and model or its research. That's a disclaimer. What's being introduced in this video is preliminary introductory information related to the question of, is this how they're doing it? So listen very carefully. I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to show you how to get to the website here in a minute. So what you want to do is you want to take a really good look at the simple fact that there's an array. These are glasses. And there's an array, let's just call them electrodes, that are dotted on the glasses. Okay? And I believe there's the technical electronic information related to it. Okay? So you can see these are little electrode arrays of microchips, if that's what you want to call them. Okay, that are embedded at least on the top part of the lens. Now, you can put any pair of glasses on your face, and what are you gonna realize when you put glasses on your face? That the top rim of it will go where? Directly on or directly above the eyebrow. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now, then whatever the person sees goes through the overlay that goes on the which is this thing right here, that would go over the eye itself. Okay? You can see how it's wrapped on the part of the eye. Okay? There. Okay? Alright? Now this is, you gotta remember, this PDF is about the testing and research phase of it. So that's why it's introduced the way it is. But the electrode arrays, whatever digital circuitry is placed on the top part of the rim of the glasses, at this time, from what I'm understanding, assist in visual information being sent from whatever this captures up here into this part of the prosthetic islands implant that actually goes on the eye. Okay? All right? Now I'm going to show you something, and it's going to look funny. Okay? Well, I'll show it to you here in a minute. Now, let's go to this is the PDF file you want to bring up. Flexible ultrasound induced retinal stimulating piezo arrays for mimicked, I can't pronounce that, visual prosthetics. That's the article you want to bring up. And do you notate ultrasound? Okay? Do you notate ultrasound there? ultrasound would be the carrier wave for the visual imagery, which means that it's either ultrasound doing it, or it's playing one or more roles in it. And you should also know that if they're using ultrasound as a carrier wave in the brain for the visual processing information that gets sent from this type of material to the part of the implant that actually ends up going on the eye, an ultrasound wave can have also offset carrier waves on them, like UHF and UUHF, which is how we watch TV. Now, just be patient with me a minute, okay? You should also know that they would probably put a cuff electrode in the inner ear dedicated to the muscle that moves the eye. Okay? You wouldn't believe how many posts I've seen on the internet where Gangstalking victims are saying that their eyes are moving involuntarily. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I just took a snap screenshot here in the past 10 days of it. These are the non-consensual ocular biofilm ocular prosthetic eyelids implants that are in my eyes currently. I have no memory whatsoever of how they got there. Those electromagnetic weapon boil bumps that you see are a result of an 18-hour-long period torture episode that occurred in a wooded area in Vaughn's grocery store. As a direct result, they push the eyelids implants out, lighting them up, making them outwardly transparently visible. These are prosthetic implants, and they might actually be cortical. Okay? So, keep that in mind as well. So, I'm going to give you one more fast look at this right here, flexible ultrasound. So, let's go to my ultrasound app, and let's bring up ultrasound. Okay? Ultrasound detector, bada boom, bada bing. And what do you think you finally see? Ultrasound being read out. I wonder why ultrasound would be at this area. It's also been caught on all MTS bus routes and bus stops that I have brought this app up at, libraries, grocery stores, and more. Okay? You can clearly see it's reading it out. I got over 4,000 stamped screenshots from over 1,000 event logs. And an event log is where you bring it up and let the whole thing run over and over and over again in 120-second cycles. Okay? All right? In fact, I'll even show you some of them. Look at this long history. Look at it. Okay? All right? So you can clearly see ultrasounds in my environment, right? So let's go back and look, and let's take a look-see at something else in the hood. Okay? Now, bear with me, munchkin butts. So you want to bring, you want to take a snap screenshot of this, okay? And if you can't see the, wait a minute. If you can't see the text that well, that's okay. Take a snap screenshot of it. What do you notice? Ear implant, okay? And in the same one, you'll also notice that the word gangstalking, okay? All right, be patient because I got some pictures of that show everything clearly with the text that you'll see linked into the descriptions of these YouTube videos. So just bear with me, munchkin butts and baby cakes. Now this one right here, I gotta wait until it clears up because I already know these sick little fuckers are jamming my phone, buffering it, freezing shit, and everything else. Oh, absolutely, like you would not believe. You would not believe what I endure on a daily basis just concerning phone buffering. Oh, absolutely, it's off the chain. Oh, absolutely. So this right here is page 2 or 3 of a website that I've been trying to show you here in the last couple seconds. The title of it is being blurred out. I wonder why that is. Okay? So this has got to do with non-consensual cochlear ear implants, okay, that also run through ultrasound. And I'm trying to bring them up, but the phone is being jammed as I speak. Not a lot, and it's also blurry until it sets like it's supposed to, so you can't see the title of it. Ain't that nice and interesting? So, just bear with me a second. Let's see if we can try and unfreeze it, because the sick little satanic filth, if they don't want you to witness something, they're going to freeze shit. So now after I've said everything, it becomes unfrozen. Yeah, do you think at any time they might want a gangstalking victim to sound crazy? They freeze it. You know they're freezing it because of the thousands and thousands of different things they've done on your phone. Okay. And then after you say they're freezing it, you can't see it. They then unfreeze it so you can see it. And then what they're trying to do is convey the message to the viewers that this lady must be crazy. She thinks they're jamming the phone. Okay. And then once you say it, they unjam it. Literally, I kid you not, you wouldn't believe what I've endured. Oh, literally, folks, I'm not kidding. So this is thin-film piezoelectric acoustic transducer for fully implantable cochlear implants. Will you bring that up? Okay, Google its title. You bring that up. Are you going to see ultrasound anywhere? Whoa, dang, it's right at the top. So if you got the eye lens implants in you, and you got the ear lens implants in you, and possibly even implants, acoustic types of implants in your nasal passage, which I got audiophiles of scientists talk about it, are the eyes, ears, and nose at least acting as one integrated network system, which means they can access all three at once. Now, I'm going to show you something right now, and it's going to look funny as hell. Okay, but you need to understand something, folks. One, you're being introduced to a topic you've never heard of before. Two, you just got done seeing proof that I got my implants in my eyes. And you want to bring that YouTube video link up that you see in this video. And I'm sorry, in the picture. Because that shows, that video, you bring that up. And in the video, you're going to see a Oxford scientist discuss to the public some of the features and reported features and functions of these eye lens implants, while she's showing a book written by a scientist who's got extremely impeccable credentials, Dr. Hildegard Staninger. And in the book that the Oxford scientist is showing, the book written by Dr. Hildegard Staninger, shows these eye lens implants in them and what these eyes look like when you shine a black UV light on them. I've already done that test on multiple dates and videos and audios, and my eyes absolutely show turquoise. In fact, if you hold on a second, let me see what we can do here, my fellow American citizens. Bear with me, munchkin butts. Now, let me scroll through here, because I think that this is... Oh, and by the way, let me also show you this before I go to... So, I got pictures in this particular thing, but if I don't get to it, don't worry about it, because I got plenty of videos showing what my eyes look like when I shine a black UV light on them. The whole entire eye is turquoise. At least the pupil part is, okay? The retina actually shows blue at times. This right here is a non-consensual surgery scar discovered between my eyes, okay? I forgot what year that was discovered in. It might have been between 2019 or 21. Okay, see it? Oh, absolutely. And this is not the only scar on my head, folks, too. I got a 3.5-inch long horizontal surgery scar directly below my left occipital lobe and a huge bump on the back of my head. That's about the size of a pea. And that bump would be dedicated to, well, is it the same place that the Utah electrode array would be placed at? Google that. Oh, absolutely. You would not believe what's going on in the hood. Oh, absolutely, folks. I mean, because think about it. How did they get the eye lens implants in me? I have no memory whatsoever of how these eye lens implants got in me at all. Extremely sophisticated surgery. Okay? Absolutely. And that also proves electromagnetic weapons torture because of it was so bad it created boil bumps on my eyes. And it lit up the eye lens implants themselves. Those are embedded light crystals that are in them. Little dots. And there's so many of them there that it looks like a vertical row. Okay? You can clearly see these are eye lens implants. Absolutely. So, let me just scroll through here just for a second. Oh, by the way, this is things that they've done to my shoulders. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, baby cakes and munchkin butts. This is me catching masers interfacing with me. At least one maser. Okay? Absolutely. Now, a maser can have an audio wave on it. At the same time, it's also, so that would be one of the waves, and then the other wave would be directed energy. So if you got an implant in your fucking nose, they're sending energy to it to activate it, and then an audio stream, because it's an auditory implant. Okay? And then another one across the head for the energy to soak through the forehead to the eyes. You won't believe the evidence I got. This ain't jack shit compared to the evidence I got. Absolutely. Look at all those different waves offset from each other. And by the way, this one right here, you can clearly see is going over the eye, right on the Let me see. I'm going to position myself. That's it. So that's the left corner of the right eye. Okay? Alright? So it's going over the left corner of the right eye. Right? Okay. So I got videos and photos showing the same type of lasers go over the right corner of the left eye and the left corner of the right eye. Okay? I also got a video and pictures from it that literally show third-degree burns going from the corner of the eyebrow down into the section of the eye on the corner of it. Okay, so it'd be about, it goes from there. Hold on. It goes from there and then goes down in towards where you might originally think that it's heading towards the nose, but it actually goes down into the eye. These people are brutal as fuck. They're sick as shit. Absolutely. I hate their fucking guts. Oh, absolutely. This right here shows a beam hit me right in the head. Okay, so trust me, folks. I know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. You know, and you wouldn't believe what I'm experiencing through MTS. I already know MTS is absolutely including with these vicious animals. I know it for a fucking fact. Look at this right here. Okay, this right here in the back of the head is exactly where that bump's at, on the back of my fucking head, right at that very spot. Absolutely. This was taken from another Gangstalking. No, this was taken from a cortical prosthetic PDF file. I forget where it's from, actually, to be totally honest with you. I think this actually might be from one of the neuroprosthetic I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to say it right now at this time. But you would not believe how demonic these sick fuckers are. I hate to fucking... There's no language that describes the seething hate, the pure hate I have for these demonic bastards. I hate their friggin' guts. Oh, absolutely. And they'll set you up, too, to contain you before you get help. And I'm trying to get help because my new insurance plan just came in. Just picked it up yesterday. So when you research male theft, male delayment, male tampering, they're obviously, to gangstalking, they're obviously monitoring your mail in order to steal it, tamper with it, or delay it. So do you honestly think they don't know I got this in? Okay? So when you research how they collude with doctors, the different doctors that you go to forces them to privately collude with a bunch of different doctors. So how can they prevent you from getting to these doctors? By staging an event between you and MTS, including fake bus passengers and security and bus drivers. Yeah, if you don't believe that they're not compromising victims' transportation, research how they're staging vehicle accidents. Okay? Absolutely. So come on, folks. If they're staging vehicle accidents, do you honestly think for 1 second that they're not going to gangstalk you on public transportation and set you up for staged events while you can be hit with neural weapons during that staged event? So they can manipulate your choices, your behavior, your actions, and then use that manipulated behavior as an excuse to ban you and or set you up for arrest. So Google gangstalking and neural weapons. This is an implant in the middle of the brain, okay, with an antenna that goes all the way. This is an implant in the middle of the brain with an antenna that goes all the way up to the top, so they can access it remotely. It's got wires that go down to the back of the brain, where all these different areas of the brain can be affected, okay. I experienced massive pain at this place right here, like you would not believe, including crippling pain. And then it's got a device that controls it in the chest. I experienced electronic transmissions and electricity in my chest, and it's not neuropathy of any kind. 3 implants in the spine, 1 in the back of the neck, 1 in the back of the head. Okay, then you got the cochlear implant, and its connection to gangstalking and trigger words. So go to YouTube search box and type in M as in Mary, MTS, Gangstalk, oh my god, suck my DSCK, and you will see hundreds of videos in that playlist showing people getting around me and repeating identical words. And what are they repeating? Gangstalk, oh my god, and suck dick. Okay? And what did I just show you concerning that? What did I just show you? What did I just show you concerning that cochlear implant? Trigger words. Okay? So I'm just kind of very fastly looking for that picture showing my eyes when a black UV light is shined on them. so you can see that they're turquoise. I just posted a tweet about that. Oh, absolutely. Here in the past 10 days or so, because I just made an update. I just made a video and took photos from the video, but I haven't uploaded that video yet. But I do have videos in this account that show me doing it. Folks, this right here should immediately show you that they're sending energy to the head. I mean, come on. What more evidence do you need? Oh, absolutely. All right, so if I can't find it here in the next... All right, here it is right here. Okay? So do you see how my eye looks? Okay? Let me zoom in on this so you can see it. See how it looks turquoise? The people part, when you shine a black UV light on them? Well, when you bring up that YouTube video... see, that's one thing that no eye doctor can lie to me about. And the crime knows it. This crime knows it. This crime knows that there's no... If you go to an eye doctor, if you fucking go to an eye doctor, and you say, hey, look, I think I got non-consensual ocular eye lens implants in my eyes. Okay? If that eye doctor, who they already know you're going to see before you even get there, because they're monitoring all your internet activity, so if you look up on your Medi-Cal plan, any of your insurance plan, what ophthalmologist you can go see, they see you're looking them up. And it's reported that they're approaching different doctors with NSA letters in order to influence them about what the doctor's allowed to do when he's interacting with you and what he's not allowed to do. Okay? So, you show that to an eye doctor, he has no normal apparent excuse to deny they're there. But all they got to do is say, I don't know what they are, and or claim you got some type of eye disease. But you see, if you watch this YouTube video, the YouTube link, you're going to see an Oxford scientist openly disclose some of the features and functions of these eye lens implants, while she's showing a book written by a world-renowned scientist, and in that book, it talks about these eye lens implants. And in the book and the Oxford doctor both say that if you shine a black UV light on these types of eye lens implants, they're going to show up turquoise. There's nothing that any ophthalmologist could say that would exclude that reality. And the demonic bitches who did this to me and interface with them and are hosting the community-based gangstalking, they fucking know it. They know it. So, do you think they try to set up a victim before a victim can get to a doctor? Yeah. So, they say to themselves, how can we set up a victim when a victim stays to themselves at all time and just goes to the grocery store and maybe to pick up some Amazon orders and go to the post office and maybe a restaurant to get something to go on rare occasion? Well, if they use a business, then that business can be set up for premise liability, especially if there's evidence involved. And I already got massive evidence concerning all businesses I've been to, absolutely. Okay? So MTS can easily collude with them, and you would not fucking believe what I know about MTS. I hate their fucking guts. Oh, absolutely. Massive evidence. Them sending me an altered assault video and much more. Oh, absolutely. So, okay, so hold on a second. So let me go back to... see, because the community-based gangstalking connected to gangstalking crimes, when you research community-based gangstalking, hold on. What you want to do is you want to research every type of place that you see in your environment when you go out and about in the community. Banks, post offices, churches, okay, coffee shops, grocery stores, restaurants. Google all those types of descriptions to gangstalking. Okay. Whether you type in community-based harassment connected to it or not. Yeah, you'll see I'm telling you the fucking truth. Absolutely. And sorry about the language. Okay. So, you should also know that frequency hopping is connected to this crime. Okay? Oh my God. So when I said, oh my God, do you think any of my exposures have caught oh my God being said in my environment after I say oh my God? You'll understand that, trust me folks, absolutely and completely once I make an updated video about it. Okay? So what you got to understand is that when a person has got implants in them, they can control you remotely. You should also research remote neural monitoring and forced speech. They can control your speech. They can control your limb movement. Okay? And concerning thought manipulation, it's very easy to do if you got an ear implant in you, because they can use the ear implant as a means for voice to skull with voice morphing, which means that they can take the sound of your voice, create a sentence like, I'm going to go to Walmart, or I'm going to say this to the bus driver after he has a normal appearing request. Okay? And then the bus driver, okay, is part of the scheme. Okay? So the bus driver says something to you, it goes through the ear implant. Okay? And they already got remote neural monitoring pre-programmed to then send something back to the ear implant in the Gangstalking victim's voice print. Like, I'm sick of this shit, or I know what you're doing, or what now? Okay, because so many bus drivers have fucked with the victim in the past, and MTS has been used in many other ways. So if a bus driver says something to the victim, and it goes through the ear implant, it goes through remote neural monitoring. And remote neural monitoring is pre-programmed to send an immediate response back to the victim for voice morphing. Like, I'm going to say something to this guy because I know he's engaging in bullshit. Okay? Right? And then the victim says it, and then the bus driver says, what's your problem? And then maybe a bus passenger gets up and sticks up for the bus driver, and then they suck you into drama. Or the bus driver gets up and he notifies MTS security saying that this bus passenger is hostile. Okay? Now, in order for you to hear the bus driver, they got to get you to take your headphones off your ears. And how would they do that? By getting your attention and claiming that you got to do something, okay, in order to be able to ride the bus. Now, the only way in order for you to hear what they're saying to you is to take the earbuds off. Okay? The things you're listening to block out anybody's bullshit that they might be saying to you and or around you concerning the crime. And that's got to do with the trigger words. Okay? Absolutely. So they know you're wearing headphones and you're listening to an audio file through them. So the only way that they can get in is to grab your attention through normal appearing excuses. The way they grab your attention is by claiming that you got to listen to my question so you can appropriately respond to it in order to board the bus. They'll do the same thing with fake bus passengers too. Like anything to do with the bike rack. Okay? Anything to do with paying fare. Anything to do with where they can claim you're not supposed to be standing at, or where you are standing at, and then you have to move from where you're standing at. Because this fucking crime knows that the only way that they can nearly influence you is to get those fucking things off your fucking ears. Because voice to skull with voice morphing uses your own voice. If you're listening to an audio file with your voice print on it, they can't process voice to skull with voice morphing, because your brain cannot process the sound of your voice simultaneously in parallel. And they fucking know it. But as a tidbit of information, just to wrap up this video, consider this. Say if you're listening to an audio file with your voice print on it, and the statements on the audio file got to break because you got to stop talking to catch your breath, like I just did. Well, that's a good 1 second right there. They can send voice to skull with voice morphing to you about how to respond to an event. You perceive it as your own thought. That artificial thought can be sent to you through voice to skull and voice morphing at the speed of light on ultrasound. Okay, absolutely. And it will be processed in the brain subliminally and even consciously. Subliminally, preconsciously, and consciously at 20 milliseconds per second, which means that the brain will perceive it, interpret it as a thought, and you'll act on it, verbally and or physically. And 20 milliseconds compared to a full second, there's a massive gap there, which means that when I stop talking for a second, that gives voice to skull with voice morphing more than enough time to get through. If you got an ear implant in you that's got a sound processor on it, they know when that break is coming in the audio file. Because if you listen to the same audio file over and over and over again, okay, right? Well, they know through the sound processor what's on the audio file, therefore they know when the breaks are. This is literally how bad this crime is, folks. I kid you not. I kid you not. Okay? So keep in mind, folks, that these 6 satanic filth, anybody that forces me to take out my mouth guard in my mouth, which I put in my mouth to protect from, well, let's just put it to you this way, that makes it harder for these little sick rats to draw you into a verbal event, okay? Anybody that forces me to take off my earphones or stop my tape recorder so I can hear what they're saying, let's see how many environments have scratchy tones or tones in the environment at the time. And even if it don't, okay, they can still get in without, because that's a secondary matter, but it's definitely related to it concerning what's reported. It's absolutely related to it, okay? Just trust me for now, folks. Now remember what I said at the beginning of this video. This is a preliminary video. Every time that I have brought up my ultrasound app on MTS buses and bus stops, it has picked it up on MTS bus. MTS buses have Wi-Fi, okay? Wi-Fi can easily be a carrier wave for ultrasound, and these ear implants are also Wi-Fi, which means they got an antenna on them. And the radio signal that interfaces with the ear implants can be bounced off of any Wi-Fi signal. And MTS has Wi-Fi on it for bus drivers only. So I know for a fact. See, because what you got to remember in Gangstalking crimes, folks, is everything is staged. Everything is staged down to the most minute detail, down to the most minute second. It's completely staged. Okay? So the premeditation in program and remote neural monitoring concerning what remote neural monitoring is programmed to send to the victim once remote neural monitoring gets from the victim a statement like, you got to pay, you got to prove that you're disabled in order to pay a $1.25 fare. Otherwise, you got to pay the full price. That goes through the ear implant to the perpetrators. They already got remote neural monitoring pre-programmed to send back to the victim's ear implant, voice to skull with voice morphing, when that is sent from the ear implant to them. Because the remote neural monitoring, it deciphers speech to text in less than a nanosecond. That's a billionth of a second. Okay? So anything a bus driver would say to a victim would get sent to the perpetrators through the sound processor of the cochlear ear implant. Remote neural monitoring has already got, can decipher it in less than a second. But what the bus driver is saying to the victim, either the whole entire dialogue that the bus driver says to the victim, or at least 1 or 2 words within the dialogue, will be considered as trigger words or buzzwords to the remote neural monitoring computer. And once it receives those buzzwords, those trigger words, it then is programmed to immediately send, at the speed of light, to the cochlear ear implant, the voice to skull with voice morphing. And then the victim acts on it. Now, you should also know that the victim's brain is being stimulated into anger through heterodyne anger, which is massively exposed online by scientists to be things they're doing to victim's brain. Well, then the victim, what they'll do is heterodyne the anger on the brain at the same time they're sending the voice to skull with voice morphing dialogue of like, I'm sick of these bus drivers fucking with me. And that's tricking the brain into believing that the heterodyne fear put on the brain is the victim's own anger instead of it being heterodyne anger. So then you got the manipulated speech from the artificial thought while the brain is experiencing anger that's not even the victim's anger. It's heterodyne anger. Okay? Now, heterodyning is one of the most... in fact, there's acoustic ultrasound heterodyning concerning brain stimulation connected to gang-stalking crimes. Absolutely. So each event that they do different shit like this, because each dialogue exchange between the victim and anybody can be beta test in order to see how that in real-time manipulation is working out. And they say, okay, well, we've done it 15 times to Joe. We're pretty sure that on the 16th attempt, we'll be able to do it. So then that's when they will stage the big event, where the cops will get involved, or security, or so the victim can be banned from a transportation service, or a post office, or a bank, okay, or a doctor's office, okay, and or set up for tickets, arrests, and assaults, okay. where then, and during the assault, they can claim the victim started it by manipulating the brain, the speech, and the choices. See, folks, what you got to understand, so if I show you this right here, this 10-unit pad safely put right above the eyebrow. Now, what this would do is that safely put, and the power sent to it is absolutely below the threshold of minimum safety requirement, way below it, which means that if you send a very small electrical stimulation to this part of the forehead right above the eyebrow, okay, do you think that that would interrupt anything that they might be sending to the eyes? See, because what you got to understand about these eye lens implants is that they might not. The eye lens implants allows them to engage in. Hold on. Okay, so what I meant to say was our pictorial thinking related to visual memory references play a role in real-time thought composition. Okay? Whether it be an internal thought, processed thought, including an internal artificially induced processed thought, can have visual pictorial imagery connected to it. You sit down and you think to yourself, what do I want for dinner? Okay? Well, you know that you went to the grocery store last week and bought taco shells, cheese, hamburger, lettuce, taco sauce. So you think to yourself, what do I want to eat? And so your brain is toggling back and forth between the visual imagery of, I know I got spaghetti, and so you'll see the visual imagery of how much spaghetti you got in your cupboard, and then your brain will say, well, do I want Mexican? And then your visual memory will spit back to you visual memory references, pictorial imagery from your visual memory of how much hamburger you got, how much taco sauce you got. You got fresh lettuce. Now that's where your pictorial thoughts play a role in your in real-time verbal thought composition. And these sick fucking maggots know it. So whatever we see with the eyes becomes part of our visual memory reference. Now when you research remote neural monitoring and memory mapping and memory stimulation as well, but what these little sick maggots can do is that they can literally send visual imagery to these eye lens implants. And it can bypass the retina and go straight to the optical nerve, to the visual processing area of the brain, while they're simultaneously sending a voice-to-skull voice morphing. Okay? So, if as a metaphorical example, if a bus driver asks you something, and you got to take off your headphones so you can hear what he's asking you, and then there's a sharp tone on the fucking bus. Is that how they're gaining a neurological access for the in real time, heterodyning through ultrasound for the brain stimulation of anger? While then they're simultaneously, influencing your thoughts through voice-to-skull voice morphing, while adding within that stream, within that auditorial voice-to-skull voice morphing thought sequence, they're interjecting and infusing within it a pictorial imagery of past bus drivers fucking with you. And they're doing this to make you think that you're in real time, that the voice morphing thought is your in real time thought based on what the bus driver's asking you. Because they want to make you look like that you're being hostile for no fucking reason at all. By stimulating the brain into anger, while simultaneously injecting an artificial thought sequence of, I'm sick of these bus drivers fucking with me, while they're flashing the visual imagery to the eye lens implants that then goes into the optical nerve, to the visual processing area of the brain, and then the brain perceives a flash or two of prior bus drivers fucking with you. Because they want you to believe the voice is called voice morphing, I'm sick of these bus drivers fucking with me. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? So, folks, remember what I said. Ultrasound's been caught on MTS buses every time I brought it up, and at MTS bus routes. Now, in closing, I know this sounds crazy to the uneducated mind. Trust me when I say. But think to yourself, you saw the eye lens implants. Am I not right? Of course you did. You absolutely saw them. Saw how they get there. Okay? And then make sure that you bring up that YouTube link in the snap screenshot that showed you them. And this right here shows what? Ultrasound cochlear ear implants, right? So you got ultrasound cochlear ear implants. Then you got the ultrasound. Okay, oh, sorry, no, that's the cochlear implant. Then you got the, bear with me a second. Okay. And then you got up here, okay, the fact that flexible ultrasound eye prosthetic implants. Okay. Flexible ultrasound induced retinal stimulation piezo arrays for biometric visual prosthetics. Now, let me tell you something, one last thing, and I'm going to let you go. You can research voices called voice morphing on the internet, and when I make some more videos, you'll see some doctors talking about it, openly showing they're saying they're using voices called voice morphing to set men and women up for rape all over the country and other crimes, as to fucking lootly, right? Now, when you look at these islands implants, you should also know I got videos and photos showing blue right in the retina. It's literal blue. It looks like a Terminator eye. If you ever watched Terminator 1, when Terminator's, taking out his fake eye, okay, and you see the red part right in the middle of the retina, I got videos showing blue light coming right out of the retina. Now, in closing, what you need to also understand is this as well. These demonic bastards who did this to me. Okay, let me just bring up one more fast thing here, okay? These sick demonic bastards who did this to me, the ones who are interfacing with the implants in any gang-stalking victim are also the ones who are absolutely hosting the community-based harassment. Do you think maybe that might be concerning? I mean, there's massive reports on the internet that the FBI and DHS are the two main nationwide. Them and Lockheed Martin, by the way. Lockheed Martin, DHS, and the FBI are the main three that are reported to be hosting the nationwide community-based gang stalking through state, county, and local government, state, county, and local police, and then their influence allows them to collude with any business that you can think of, including schools, libraries, and so on. Okay, there's other intel agencies implicated in this for sure, as well as the military. Make no mistake about it. See, folks, what you got to understand is that I want you to think to yourself, imagine you being a gang stalking victim and even having up to 70 or more implants in you, which is widely reported they're doing. Say if you then, through knowledge and experience, and we're talking about scientific knowledge that came from scientific articles, scientific exposures from scientists who are literally helping victims, by the way. Okay, I got audio files to prove it, right? So you got an intelligent victim who's done their research. You got an intelligent victim who's got massive evidence. You got an intelligent victim who's just now signed up for a healthcare service, an insurance plan that allows them to see different types of doctors, which would be then more doctors they would have to collude with to make sure those doctors don't provide you any medical evidence of any kind that you've been implanted anywhere, which is widely reported to be occurring all over the country. So they can see that you're going to be looking for help here pretty soon, right? So do you think they try and set you up before you get that help? Fuck yeah, they would. I mean, I've seen countless reports on the internet of victims saying they went to the police to report anything about gang stalking, just minor shit concerning the community-based gang stalking. They leave the police department and then they're set up for massive escalated crimes connected to gang stalking, like assault, staged arrest, you name it. I've seen hundreds of posts about that. Absolutely. And what you got, because let me tell you something right now, folks, and I know you're not going to be able to see it or understand it because I'm not giving you enough details to help you fully comprehend it, okay, to come up with a factual conclusion. But look, these islands implants right here, can they absolutely manipulate pictorial thought processes while the victim could be experiencing voices called with voice morphing to get him to go somewhere? And why would the perpetrators want to do that? Would it be to set the victim up for a fucking rape? Okay? Absolutely. Here's one more last thing to consider. These types of islands implants got a patent holder. Okay? Now, they also got a manufacturer. Okay? Which means that whoever manufactures these types of islands implants, each sale has a sales receipt. vendors, people who bought them, like hospitals. They can be traced back, if they could ever be traced back to a hospital I was due to go into in Michigan, then they're fucked. Because what that does then is that implicates the hospital to the surgery. Now, then you take that hospital to the surgery to then a bunch of other massive connected evidences to it. Okay, absolutely. I literally got a picture from a video, by the way, which I haven't uploaded yet. Let me just bring something up here through Google real fast. See, because you can trace back the patent holder to the manufacturer, to the vendor. The vendor is who sells it on behalf of the manufacturer. So if a hospital bought these types of eyelens implants, they can be traced back to the patent holder, from the patent holder to the hospital. And then if you were ever duped to go into that hospital, you fucking got them. Absolutely. Hold on one second. Plus, these the ultrasound would have dedicated, has got a dedicated carrier wave. The ear implants have an antenna on them. Their make and model would allow you to know what type of make and model is they're being communicated with by and through a radio wave bouncing off of cell phone towers, which many cochlear ear implants allow that to occur. Then you can isolate that dedicated radio wave through the FCC. And they know I'm this smart. You better believe it. See, because what you got to understand here, folks, think about what I'm saying. How can you prove that a transportation service is privately colluding with the perpetrators who can nearly influence your behavior so they can set you up? How can you prove that? Because they're not allowing you to prove the implants. Okay? They're not even allowing you to prove in court when you got indisputable evidence of the bus transportation service being involved in a brutal assault of you, and then them sending you an altered video of the assault. Literally. And the police lying about the person who assaulted me on the police report. Literally. I kid you not. That's the gang of gangstalking. The host who uses the public transportation service and who uses the police and who stages the fake passengers, they're all here to work together against you, working with the same colluding whores who are using the neural weaponry on you. And part of that neural weaponry interface is the implants. Okay? Now, just bear with me one second. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, so I just typed in the picture of a face. So let me take a snap screenshot of this just real fast, and then I'll erase it after I get done making this video, because I want to zoom in on the snap screenshot. Okay? So what do we got here? We're going to go to the gallery. Okay? And we're going to click on this. We're going to zoom in on the snap screenshot. Now, you might think to yourself, why am I doing this? So I want you to follow my pen, the tip of the pen. Do you see this part right here of the eye? This part right here? I got a video and pictures from that video that show a third, it's even worse than a third-degree burn. Okay, I kid you not. Me being attacked to the, remember, serves me correctly, it was the right eye. A burn from here, going all the way down into here, and then down into here. Okay? It hasn't been uploaded yet because of what I've been experiencing every day since that was... because of what I've been experiencing in real time every day since that video was made. I got photos from the video. It literally shows a third-degree burn from here. I mean, we're talking about open skin. And then well, actually, I took the video after the wound started healing. So I actually got probably two videos. One showing the burn itself, and then the video showing the scab. Okay, and it's literally a scab that looks like this. Okay. That looks like this. It goes from the corner of the eyebrow down into the area that's right on the corner of this spot right here, and it goes down right into here. Okay. Now I got videos and photo showing these very areas being hit with directed energy weapons, electromagnetic weapons, and lasers. Massive evidence of it. And the little maggots know it too, because these little sick-ass whores, they monitor everything you do online. Oh, absolutely. Hold on a second. Oh, absolutely. See, because you got to remember, this crime knows that it's perpetrating massive crimes against you. It knows it. Brutal crimes. We're talking about torture to the point to where you can't even get up and walk in order to leave the environment you're being tortured at so they can continue to torture you. That's literally how bad they are. Okay? They will torture you so bad you can't walk, so you can't leave the environment so they can continue to torture you. This is literally how bad this crime is. I kid you not. But going after, oh, absolutely. So if you were to put on a TENS unit, a little small electrode pad, okay, hold on a second. Yeah, it's just a little small pad. It's about this size, okay? Then you put this up here, okay? And you turn it on, obviously, at a safe volume, obviously, okay? And then what that does is that sends a little bit of electrical stimulation to this area of the eye, okay? Now, what that would do, would that interfere then with what I originally showed you? Okay, so let me go back to the gallery part. Right here, at the very beginning of the video, what did I show you from the first PDF file? Okay, you bring that PDF file, because this isn't the best thing, a screenshot from it. It's got a bunch of arrays that go on the top part of the glasses. And the visual imagery seen through the glasses goes from the electrode arrays into this part of the eye lens implants that goes on the eye itself. Okay? Right? Now, what do we do when we put glasses on? Where do the rim of the glasses go? Directly over the eyebrow. Okay? Do you understand? Okay? So, when you bring up, because this isn't the best picture, when you bring up, I'll show you the title of the PDF file again. These are little electrode arrays that would be put on the glasses, but what they're doing, did they do it to a particular victim that I'm personally aware of, where instead of putting the electrode arrays on the rim of the glass, they're embedded in the eyebrow. Okay? Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? So, there's a lot of stuff, different stuff in play here, folks. Just trust me on that. I know this probably sounds peculiar to you, but what you got to understand, folks, is, so here's the title of that. And you notice ultrasound? Okay? Yeah. So, with the ultrasound, would that go through the ear, okay, and under the eyes, and then around the eyebrows, back to the other ear, and then again repeated in a constant loop. So I want you to, oh, hold on. So I want you to take a look at my eyes. What kind of white marks do you notice around my eyes? Okay. And if I took a clear enough picture, you'd be able to see that a string goes from the ears. I also got a non-consensual surgery scar behind my right ear, and a 3.5-inch long non-consensual surgery scar less than 1/64 of an inch directly below my left occipital lobe in the back base cranium of my head. I also got a pea-sized bump on the back of my head. Yeah, you should research the Utah electrode array. See, these vicious fucking animals that did this sick, vile shit to me, plus making me homeless through the United States Postal Service, stealing my rent right out of the mail that was mailed certified mail return receipt through the United States Postal Service money order. See, they've been using the homelessness against me non-stop ever since they created it, from at least 4 apartments in Michigan, 1 in Tennessee. So I just gave up on renting apartments. Plus, they gang-stalked me to homeless shelters. Oh, you would not believe what I'm enduring. You wouldn't believe what I have endured. Okay? Oh, absolutely. Because, folks, see, they know you're intelligent. They know you're smart. They know you're willful. They know the brain can organize experience to educated knowledge, because they both are related, right? They know that certain things put in you are outwardly apparent, and no normal doctor would deny that they're there. Okay? So that's a lot of collusion with different doctors that they would have to interface with. Yeah. In order to make sure they don't help you to prove they're there on medical reports. The more doctors you run to, the more colluding they got to do. And that causes them a lot of fucking problems, because they already know this is proof. And remember that I showed you the turquoise eyes when you shine the black UV light on them? There's no ophthalmologist that can ever claim that that is connected to any type of eye disease at all. There's world-renowned scientists openly saying that if you got these type of eye lens implants in you, that is disclosed in this YouTube video here by an expert scientist, who's also showing a book from another scientist who talks about these types of eye lens implants. And in the book, and the expert scientists openly state that if you shine a black UV light on these types of eye lens implants, your eyes will look turquoise, right? Turquoise. Your eyes will literally look like turquoise. So if I went to an ophthalmologist and I said, hey, look, and here's another picture, by the way, of another maser interfacing directly with my eye. Oh, absolutely. And by the way, take a look at this one. When you take, and this is from a live video, it's a maser going directly across, okay, the right eye, and it lights up something red right in the corner of the right eye, or the left eye. What did I say a few minutes ago? They're sending energy in, and it's going right across the eyebrow. They're sending energy in, okay, all right, and look at that. It lit up the other eye. Okay. Absolutely. Now, they know this evidence is indisputable. The demonic bitches who host this crime, they know this evidence is indisputable. You better believe it is. You wouldn't believe what they've done to me. You literally wouldn't believe what they've done to me. I'm sick of their shit. Absolutely, I'm sick of their shit. By the way, this right here was caught on this property I'm on right now. I got the same exact identical to a T type of evidence caught at another property, which was actually the picture I just showed you a second ago. Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at this one. That was caught on another property. Oh, absolutely. Okay, this right here was caught on another property, right? Okay, well, when you go back and you look at this picture, you see the same type of wave going across the top of the head. Okay, and that's